All praises to the Creator. All praises to our Creator, Jehovah. You're welcome to Peace, Love, and Blessings Ministry. I am your brother, Brother Thomas. Welcome to Peace, Love, and Blessings Ministry. I am your brother, Brother Thomas. Indeed, it is a privilege to be back one more time. All praises to the Creator. Hopefully everyone is doing well as expected. We do realize that everybody's going through something. We do realize that everybody is going through some things in their lives. And the thing about it, don't matter if you're rich, you're poor, we all deal with certain things in our own way. We all deal with different circumstances and situations. But the confidence that you should have is that you don't have to go through it by yourself. Hallelujah. All praises, all praises. This is your first time tuning in to this lesson. This is a Faithist Lesson. Faithist Lesson. Faithist is someone that believes in the Creator and only worship Him. He's the only one that deserves your praise, your honor. And if you serve the Creator, you're on the right path. See, the Creator don't have to send nobody down here. Because He's more than enough. The Creator don't need nobody to do nothing for Him because He's already enough. When you have to start helping the Creator, that make your Creator seem incompetent. And we say all these terms and put them on another individual. But all that belongs belongs to the Creator. Because without the Creator, no one in this world would exist. In this world and out of this world. Y'all not hearing me today. In this world that we live in and even out of this world. Hallelujah. All praises. Y'all better wake up today. We won't be before you long. We're going to be here for a little bit and we're going to be gone. We're going to get to the point of this lesson today. That way you can go home and digest it. But it's not a very long lesson. It should be. All praise. All praise. You can see by the screen, the title of this lesson is Life After Death. The title of the lesson is Life After Death. We're going to get ready to open up this lesson for today with a scripture reading and a prayer, and then we'll get right on into the lesson. But the title of the lesson is Life After Death. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you know when we come live. Hopefully it's working properly. But definitely share this information. Life After Death. Like, subscribe. Let us get ready to stand and open up today. All praises belong to the Creator. And it reads, For I am as near to the Caporim as to the Essene. Let them then disown their kings and gods, and whomsoever hath a kingdom to glorify, and they shall espouse me, for I am ever present. For this all people should do, either on earth or in heaven. My kingdoms are not by violence or by war, but my kingdom is about liberty to every soul. And whosoever practice peace and love and liberty unto others are my chosen. They are on the way of everlasting resurrection. I have read the Book of Wars Against Jehovah, page 383, chapter 53, I want to say, verse 10. This is Book of Wars Against Jehovah, chapter 53, and verse 10, page 383. Creator, bless the reading and the doing of His word. In His name we do pray. All praises. Let us bow our head for a word of prayer. Creator, we come today. No shape, no form, or no fashion. We come humbly to you. Thanking you for the opportunity and allowing us to be here right now. Creator, we ask you to be with us on today. We ask you to come in this four-corner house that we reside in. Have your way in here. We ask you to open up our eyes and our hearts and minds today. That whoever is watching, either now or in the future, that they might be touched, not by my words, but by your presence here at Peace, Love, and Blessings Ministry. Because it's not about us here at Peace, Love, and Blessings Ministry, but it's all about you. The glory belongs to you. The honor belongs to you. All the praise belongs to you. Creator, we ask you to touch each and individual here today, and those that's watching that couldn't be able to make it. Touch it from the top of their head to the sole of their feet. Be with them. See your angels that encamp around about them. Lift them up. Deliver whoever needs to be delivered on today. We ask these things because we know that you can do it. And the truth of the matter is that it might already be done. But we realize and understand that your time is not our time. And your ways are not our ways. So we humbly ask you to do it for us. Creator, we ask you to let me speak your words and not my words. That your people might be edified. That their life might be changed for the better. That they might be that man, woman, boy, and girl that you're looking for in days and times like these. That there might be a better individual. Not only for themselves, but for their brothers and sisters that's around them. Creator, we thank you. We thank you for liberty. We thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for strength. But somebody might need you right now to create. And we ask you to shower down whatever that might be. Creator, we thank you. Thank you today. Heal today. Mend broken hearts. Deliver. Creator, we thank you. In your name we do pray. All praises to you. All praises belongs to you. All praises. Let's get started with this lesson for today. Again, the title of the lesson is Life After Death. And this is a Faithist Lesson. The title of the lesson is Life After Death. Again, like I said, it won't be for long, before you long. Should be a short lesson today. Something that you can go back to your four-corner home and think about. Life after death. What we do realize is that at some point that everybody is going to have to die. Everybody going to have to die. But dying or death is
a second birth. Nothing but a second birth. This is the introduction. Introduction. In the Bible, it really doesn't explain the life after death, right? In the Bible, it really doesn't explain the life after death and doesn't give you details about it. Yes, we understand that it talks about heaven and hell, what you must not do and what you must do in order to gain either one of these things. Who can be put in hell and who can be in heaven if you just do these weird things. And then they give you the story of Lazarus and all these things like this, these parables, trying to explain kind of like what's going on in heaven. And you go into Revelation, it talks about what heaven is going to look like and all that, how the streets are paved with gold, right? But it really doesn't explain the life after death. It doesn't give you details about it. But in Owaski, it gives you a complete detailed explanation of how we progress in spirit, right? Because you die, people die, and they become a spirit being. Well, in this spirit form that you are in when you die, there is a progression that takes place after you die. There is a progression that has to take place after we shed this physical body. Also, the Bible and other beliefs might give you glimpses about the life after, but it doesn't also give you detailed accounts about life after death, right? Because every form of belief or every religion has got some kind of heaven that their servants go to, and they got some form or shape or hell or whatever you want to call it for those that don't believe what they believe. But in their belief and in their religion, there's not a detailed account about life after death. I know we went over some detailed accounts about life after death on this platform, Peace, Love, and Blessing platform. Some of you might be new to this channel, but we went over some of these life after death scenarios that take place after you die. In previous lessons that I have done about this life after death, but the title might not be named that, I've done how the spirit life progresses in the atmosphere. Again, there's a progression that has to take place. There's a progress that has to take place after you die. And this all takes place in the atmosphere planes. And then you be born into Etheria, which is the ultimate heaven. So you have the death when you die, then you change into a spirit form, a spirit being, right? And then after you have had this new birth in the spirit form, you dwell into either what you call the first or second heaven, as you can see on the screen in the images. You're either in the first or the second heaven, but not going all the way into Ethereum. There's steps in progress that must be taking place in order for this to happen. Now, now the Bible talks about heaven, right? We all understand that. We all read the Bible, right? The Bible talks about heaven, but it doesn't break down that you must progress through heaven, right? But when you go into the Bible, even the Bible within itself speaks about there's different heavens, right? The Bible in itself talks about there's different heavens, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew this before we even got into what we believe right now, that there was different heavens. And so if you're not at that stage right now, then you must gotta go do some research and some evidence about there's different layers. Or you can just go back to my previous lesson where I talk about there's different layers of heaven. Okay? Now the Bible talks about heaven, but it doesn't break down that you must progress through heaven. So in reality, it only has you focusing on one specific area. And that area is the Magless heaven, the Magless third the third level of heaven, where they say that God is supposed to be sitting on the throne, where your mansion is supposed to be at, all this, those streets of paved with gold. They only got you thinking about this one specific area of heaven, or the one plane of heaven, and they don't have you thinking about the progression that you must undergo when you die this physical death and you become a spirit being. There's steps to this. It's just like when you was born on this earth, right? Did you automatically just wake up and be an adult? No, there was progress. You had to go through some progression from a baby on up to a child, right, or kid, or to a teenager, and right on to up to adult age. You experience things in this life. Same way you got that birth. Now think about the spiritual birth. You're a spirit being. You knew the spiritual world. It's like you were new to this physical world when you came here. When you first came here, you couldn't clothe yourself, right? You didn't feed yourself. You relied on somebody for everything. Same thing with the spiritual birth, right? You are you in the spiritual world, but you're new to the spiritual world. There's certain things that you don't know about the spiritual world. Especially if you ain't been studying or researching or living how the Creator wants us to live, you definitely gonna be out of the loop and new to the whole thing of being a spiritual individual. Most people have a problem with the ideal. Whether you believe it or not, many people have a problem with the idea of do we live after death? A lot of people have a problem or with the idea of do we live after death. That's a big question because people want to know when I die, is it over or am I still living? Am I still me? Right? They got questions about this. And the reality of it, the truth of it is yes, you live after you die. Life still goes on. Life still goes on. We all live after we shed this physical body. Everybody lives after they shed this physical body. It don't matter if you was good, bad, or whatever the case that you may be have been. When you die, you live again. And this is the cosmic order. This is how things are designed by your creator. Whether you believe it or not. Whether you believe you live after death or you don't believe whether you live after death has nothing to do with the reality of it. It is what it is. Every individual, whether good, bad, you will live after death. Now, where you are placed after you die is a whole nother situation. It's a whole nother conversation. But you will live again. If the Creator can allow, I want you to think about this. And you see the image on this thing? Think about it. Whatever you see in nature, you should see in the spiritual world or things around you. You should be able to apply what you see in nature to everyday life or into the spiritual life. If the Creator can allow a caterpillar, everybody know what a caterpillar, right? I got it on the screen just in case you don't know. If the Creator can allow a caterpillar to turn into a cocoon, see the cocoon right there, or the pupa that's hanging on the tree? The caterpillar changes forms. It starts from an egg. Right there on the right side. It starts from an egg that's on the leaf. The egg hatches and comes a caterpillar. And then when it comes a caterpillar, these are stages in the metamorphosis. It changes from a caterpillar to a pupa, if that's the word, or cocoon, as you would know it. And then to a butterfly. That's a beautiful stage. Not only is that we can relate it just to the caterpillar, the word you relate this to frogs, right? Where it becomes a tadpole first, right? And then eventually turns into a frog, right? So forth and so on, as you can look at in the metamorphosis as far as angels and their life changes that they undergo and take place. This right here is an example of life and death and resurrection. Right here, what you see on the screen with the butterfly is an example of life, death, and resurrection played out through the butterfly. If the Creator can give a butterfly as a perception for humans to see the life after death, it is only plain as day the progression of life is real after death. Example, the caterpillar is one example I just gave you. The tadpole and the frog is one example I gave you. Even the sun, the rising and the setting of the sun, right? When it rises, it's new life. When it goes down, you play that as death. Got a question? Somebody looking like they got puzzle.
Yeah, you have a question online.
What's up?
So Sister Bika said, "Will we still remember each other at life after death?"
Yep, you remember each other. You will. You will remember everything. You got to understand, when you die, you still you. When what I mean by you still you is whatever person that you was on this earth, and when you die, you are still that same person when you go into the spiritual world. So if you was a good person when you died, right? You're gonna be that same good person when you reborn in the spiritual world. If you was a wicked, evil person, whatever characteristic that you demonstrate, let's say that, whatever characteristics or you demonstrate or you portrayed in this world, if you were greedy, you were selfish, you're gonna take those same attributes into the spiritual world. You're gonna remember everything. You ain't gonna forget nothing. You are saying you are you. The same thought process. You're gonna remember everything. You don't know who your family is. You don't know who your wife and your husband is. That's the reason why, as far as scriptures and as far as information, and the only book that I've seen mentioned it is that this Oashi Bible. That when you get married, you shouldn't be getting married more than you should only be married one time. This is off the top, but you should be only married one time. You're supposed to be only dealing with one person. It don't matter if they dead or not dead. You're only supposed to be married to one person, one relationship. Ain't no death to the covenant violation to death do us part, depending on what they mean by till death do us part, right? You still have a vow to this person whether you die or not. You ain't supposed to mess with nobody after they dead. You ain't supposed to be messing with nobody after your loved one or your spouse died. It's only supposed to be one person. That's it. We go into scriptures and information about that. Because me and my wife were doing research on that, looking at that. But that's the truth of the matter. We only supposed to have one relationship, one man, one woman, not all these different relationships. And us, off topic, us by us having these different relationships, we're allowing different spirits of different people to get attached to us. Their demons or whatever they're dealing with in their life, you are attaching that to you. And then some of us don't understand why we're going through so many things that we're going through. It's because look at the people that you're dealing with, the relationships that you keep. You don't know what kind of stuff that they're dealing with, what kind of demons they fight with. Now you got to start to think about it. You might be dealing with your own demons and your own evil spirits or whatever you might be dealing with. Now you have to deal with whatever their spirits or demons that they're dealing with. However many spirits and demons that they're dealing with. It can be more than one demon or spirit that individual is dealing with. Huh?
I said they may also not know that they're dealing with it.
And yes, some people don't even know that they're dealing with it. But you lay down with these folks, you have these relationships with these folks. Now, whatever they have on them is projected on you. So that's off top, but I just want you to know that that's on the way to learn it. We learn on the way to learn it. So, yes, this is a short lesson, so I mean I'm okay with it because we got a couple scriptures and then we're gonna get up out of here. Yes, sir. Yep, your parents still your parents, your wife is still your wife. Everything is still the same. Everything's still the same. Parents still the parents, the wife is still the wife, husband still the husband, you still the mama, that's still the son, you still the daddy.
So you would say that your loved ones will still remember you as well. Like, say for instance, like your child passed, and then you come to the afterlife a little bit later. Your child will still know, hey, that's my mom, or like your mom will know, hey, that's my child, like that.
Yeah,
like
they don't know that, but the only thing about it is when you go to, I'm telling you, like everything that you are right now, you just think about it. Whatever you are right now in the position that you are, whatever your loved ones, whoever they were, when they was here on this earth, whatever existence they was, whatever knowledge that they had, just imagine them in their form right now as a physical being a spiritual being, having that same knowledge, having that same understanding, knowing whoever they know around, they gonna know what they did, everything. They're the same. They're just a spiritual being. They just living after their death. But the only thing about it is that is not to say that you might not see these individuals when you die. Because you don't know. See, this is why it's not good for pastors and preachers to be up there putting everybody in heaven. Because you really don't know. I just said when I opened up, the creator ways are not our ways. And like I just told you just a few minutes ago, when you go into the spiritual world, you go in there blind. You don't know nothing about the spiritual world. You can only read about it. Read about the spiritual. We can read about the spiritual world in here, but to actually see it and actually live it is totally different things. In order to just sit here and read it, you're gonna give you a kind of like an ideal of what it is. But you being there and you actually experiencing it and seeing it is two different things, right? But again, at all the people funerals, they put these people in heaven and lying to these folks and stuff like that. You don't know what these folks is. Right? So if you got a loved one that's passed on, you don't know what heaven that they in. Because I told you from the beginning that there's different levels of heaven. They can be in the first heaven, they can be in the second heaven. There's a progress that you have to go through in order for you to reach ethereal. There's people that's been in the spiritual world, and have not. We read about it. If you go to my past lessons, there's people that's been in the spiritual world 3,000 years that still haven't made it to ethereal. You think with your whole, if I just say somebody just asked a question, I'm not being funny, but somebody just asked a question. When you die, right? Do you gonna remember everything, or who are you? Are you the same person, right? Now think about it. And my answer was yes, you're the same person. You're gonna remember everything. Why would the same person that you are? Think about this now. Think about it. Sit down and think about it. Don't spit coffee. Don't faint. If you're the same person that you are right now, you know yourself right now. If you're that same person, but you're just in a spiritual form, and the preacher said you're gonna go on into heaven, you're gonna go all the way to the third heaven with whatever conditions you have. What kind of heaven is going to be? Huh? What kind of heaven is it going to be when you still got ideas and thoughts running across your mind? I don't care what nobody says. People that you have been around, they go to church Sunday in, Sunday out, or whatever day they go to church, right? All these people truly giving everything up. I mean, give everything up for the Creator. I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about people, I'm talking about even myself. Are you really giving up everything for the Creator? Are you willing to give up your houses, your cars, your land, all the clothes you got possess, all the money that you possess? Are you willing to give up all this? People ain't willing to give up all this. People act like they want to die, but they don't want to die. Just be honest and be truthful about the situation. Just say, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I know myself, I'm not ready. So just think about it. If the preacher, pastor, and preacher tell you going on to heaven with the same individual that you are right now, what kind of place heaven could be? Tupac said that there's a heaven for a thug. I don't want to be in that heaven with the thugs. Huh? What kind of heaven that could be? He said the heaven for the thugs. Who want to be in heaven with the thugs? With the thug mentality. What kind of heaven is going to be? No, that's no. That's why there's a progression. Because the Creator knows that when people leave this earth and they die, whatever they attach to, they're still see, that's the reason why there's a progression, because people are still attached to this world and the things of this world. They're attached to family, they're attached to loved ones, they're attached to money, cars, clothes, whatever this world offers, the people are attached to it. That's why there's a progression that has to take place. When it's talking about you being changed, it's talking about your body being changed, but the resurrection is not taking place according to our gospel. Because everybody has to go through. How can a resurrection take place? The last lesson, if you've been watching me, how can a resurrection take place if we already have talked about Jesus? We already talked about Christianity. So how that let you know right there, where is the resurrection gonna take place?
Hmm.
If we already looked at my past, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hmm.
If you want information, you got to go back and look at my last lessons. We had a whole series, 13-part series, talking about the Bible decoded, right? So if you're not caught up to that point, go back to that and look at some of that stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Um, okay, so I know you say you're not supposed to marry like after death, but say for instance,
Huh?
you're not supposed. I mean, you're not supposed to remarry. So if you're married, you're not supposed to remarry just because like your loved one passed away or something like that.
Right.
So what if in a situation where I had like a fiance, right? Or I had someone that I was in a relationship with, we was committed with, but we didn't get a chance to get married. And my loved one passed away without us getting married. Would that still apply to me as far as like getting married to someone else? Like, would it be the same like on the afterlife? Would he know me and he see me married? Or how does that work? Or could you explain that if that
They don't
makes
see
sense?
everything, they know everything.
Yeah.
But as far as you being a spouse, the spouse is not being married. So that vow and that commitment hasn't taken place.
So in
The
that
vow and the
situation.
commitment hasn't been taking place under the Creator, right? It hasn't been taking place under the Creator. So that in marriage is not an actual marriage. You're not bound by this covenant. Once you get married, the covenant is forever. It's continual. Even after death, it's continual. Did I answer
So
your question?
So what would you say like in common law marriage? Like is it such thing as like common law marriage or so like would you say after a certain length of time these people been together for a certain length of time so we would be common law married
No.
or if it's not committed or written on the paper we're not actually married which means we wouldn't fall under those guidelines.
This world, I mean, this don't operate upon this this world. We are all those that watch are believers of Creator and Jehovah. And I understand this common law marriage come from this world that we live in. But if there's not a commitment or a vow that's been made between the man and the woman before the Creator, it doesn't exist. You can say that you common law marriage because you've been living with somebody, but a lot of these common law marriages that they classify as common law marriages, there's no commitment in this common law marriage. Where is the commitment? Does the Creator want commitment?
Yes.
If the Creator want commitment, but you don't want commitment, what are we talking about here? The Creator is about commitment. The Creator is about a man being a man and a woman being a woman. Now, I understand. There's different scenarios when we talking about dealing with marriages, right? Because a lot of people see like they don't want to get married because if they don't work out and all that stuff like that, the woman gonna get all this money or this gonna happen when after they get divorced and all that stuff like that. But if that's your thought pattern, you shouldn't even get married because you going into the marriage with an ideal of thinking that y'all not gonna work out. That means you're not applying all your self to this marriage because you're already thinking that y'all gonna fulfill, and you looking out for your interest and not instead of looking out for both of y'all interests. So that marriage, you shouldn't even be getting married with that train of thought, right? And I can understand that you don't want to get married under this world marriage, but then if that's the case, you can make up your own contract between you and your wife and get from underneath this world contract or marriage contract and go up, get up on the creator contract. You make a vow to you and your wife on the creator contract instead of the world contract, but that's still a marriage because now you have a contract, an agreement saying that you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, so forth and on and so on. But all this common law marriage is just a thing for people not to be committed, and people don't want uh, 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 what's going there, be hemmed down or whatever, be tied down or whatnot. They still want to be able to do whatever they want to do.
So is there marrying after death?
Marriage after death? I don't know. I haven't read about marriage after death. No, I haven't read about marriage after death. I don't think there's marriage after. I don't. Possibly don't think there's marriage after death. Whatever you do right now, I mean, it's what it's done. So if you don't got married right now in this world, this physical body, you still married in a spiritual world. But after death, I don't think there's marriage. I haven't read it. Let me say that I haven't read it, so I don't know. But you gotta think about it in the afterlife. Whether you husband or wife, the husband and wife are entirely about the Creator and the business of the Creator. Like when the story of Yahweh saying, "I must be about my Father's business," right? That's pretty much what it is. I know the Bible had you thinking that you're gonna be sitting here praising the Lord all day, glory, hallelujah, flying around, all heaven around you. No, there's work to be done. You don't think, if you just think about it and sit down and think about it, if all this stuff in heaven, right? If people are dying in this world and leaving this world, you don't think the spirits or the angels over there are working, doing stuff? There's things to be done over there. Like it's things to be done here in this world. You don't think they got jobs over there in heaven? Huh? Guardian angels, right? Different things over there. You don't think there's learning going on over there?
Okay, so I guess not to take away from that, but can you kind of elaborate on like I guess the marriage, like even if you're not married with someone or something like that, and you love them, and you didn't get a chance to marry that person. Um,
I don't
I
remember
know
so well.
it doesn't take away that you love that person. Would you say that they still would have like their memories of each other and love each other, and
Yeah.
like whatever they shared, they'll still have that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away to say that you didn't love that person never loved you. That it wouldn't it's not saying that at all.
Right.
It's just saying that as far as like commitment wise, when it comes to marriage, you're still open to get married because you wasn't married. But even in the afterlife, if you choose not to get married and you go into the afterlife after death, we haven't ran across the thing to say anything about marriage after death. But that doesn't mean that you'll forget that person.
Now you ain't gonna forget that person. Like we keep saying, like whatever that you know or whatever that you have done, you go everything that you have undergo in this life, all that's gonna stay with you. Whatever things that you have been done to or wronged by or you love someone, you gonna remember everything. The only thing different is that you are a spiritual person. That's the only thing. All your memories are gonna be with you. So
So
all this, so I understand what's going on here because pastors and preachers have having people thinking that, right? Pastors and preachers have people thinking that they just gonna be changed, and they're gonna be this new person. Like, no, that's wrong. You are going to be the same. When I die, I'm gonna be the same Thomas. Whatever I die with, if I haven't changed my life and my actions and everything that's attached to me, my thoughts, that all that is going with me in my spiritual body. And that's the reason why I'm sitting here telling you that you're not gonna go straight on to the third heaven where everything is paid and gold, whatever the case may be. Right? There's a progression that takes place. According to how you've been living down here on this earth is where you're gonna be placed or where you're gonna wake up in your spiritual form, where you're gonna wake up, whether you're in the first heaven or the second heaven. So you have the opportunity right now. If you looked at my last lesson dealing with this life after death, depending on where you are in this in the spiritual world, how the grading system works is where you're going to be able to, how you can place yourself in the first atmosphere or in the second atmosphere of heaven. These are heavens, but you're the same person. It's not going to be you're going to be this different person when you die. No, it's don't work like that. And a lot of people, that's the thing. A lot of people, when they pray these prayers, they want to create just to save them of themselves. It saved me in spite of myself. No, you got to work to save yourself. The Bible tells you that, even though the Bible kind of conflicts itself, right? It tells you to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That means you got to work. It also tells you faith without works is what? Dead. Ain't nobody coming to save you in spite of yourself. You got to work to save you. But everybody praying these prayers and want creditors come down here and just automatically just change their mind and change. No, you got to work to change yourself. If you want to get off of drugs, they send you to what? Rehab. They send you to rehab. In order to go to rehab, you got to make in your mind that I'm going to rehab. I'm going to work on myself. Going to rehab ain't going to make you better unless you make yourself want this to be better in your life. Nobody coming out here to change your life around and do all these things that you want to be done unless you put your foot forward and do your own work for yourself to change yourself for the better. But we need to stop this. Pastors and preachers need to stop lying to folks. When you die, you just not even just automatically going to change and be this whole different total person. No, when you die, you are exactly who you are right now. You just a spiritual body being. So just imagine you being a spiritual body being right now. That's who you are when you die. All your thoughts, all your memories, everything is there. Let's go to the next page. All right, unbelief and doubt. We have a symbolic example in nature to show us that there is progression in life, right? We just talked about the caterpillar. I gave you an example of the sun rising and setting. I also gave you another example of the tadpole, and the frog, right? The frog, right? We have a symbolic example in nature to show us that there's progression in a life after we shed this physical body or after we die. A lot of people are skeptic and hold doubt to the life after death. A lot of people don't believe you live after you die. So to those who deny life after death, or Oxford has a sum of verses where it touches on this unbelief. So if anybody might be here or might be watching me that have unbelief of the life after death, well, let's go read scriptures. Let's go to book 14. Everybody gonna live after they die. And you are you. You're not gonna be this changed person, this different person. Whatever thoughts and memories that you died knowing, that's what you gonna remember knowing. We're in book 14, book of Apollo, son of Jehovah, chapter 4, 1 through 2. So that's book 14, book of Apollo, son of Jehovah, chapter 4. We're gonna read verse 1 and 2. This is for people that doubt and have the unbelief about life after death. Go ahead.
Hear me, O men and angels.
So he's talking about man, right? He's talking about man and angels. Physical man and spiritual man or woman. Physical man and woman or spiritual man and woman. Go ahead.
From my words, learn to be wise and deep perceiving.
He said, learn to be wise and deep perceiving. Go ahead.
He who stands in darkness does not see.
Uh-huh.
No one can comprehend the time of Jehovah.
Go ahead.
The delight of all men should be delight in the light.
Come on.
But who practices to his highest knowledge? Before my days, time was no nearer the beginning of the universe than now.
See, before my days, he says time was nearer the beginning of the universe than it is at that present time. Huh?
Is no nearer.
No nearer, right? Time ain't no nearer than what it was from the beginning of the universe than it is now. Go ahead.
There were men who believed that for each and every man.
There were men who believed this now. There were men, women, boys, and girls that believed that for each and every man, go ahead.
With death came the end of that man's existence.
People believe that once you die, that's it. People believe that once you die, ain't no more existence. Go ahead.
And Jehovah sent angels to prove them in their folly.
So Jehovah, the Creator, had to send angels in order to prove them in their folly. Go ahead. What does 389 mean?
Lack of understanding, absurdity, foolishness, to prove they were mistaken.
Jehovah sent these angels to prove that they were mistaken, that you lack understanding of these things. Go ahead.
Yet, though they saw them and talked with them face to face,
even though they talked to these people that disbelieve, and they saw them, what did he say?
Many would not believe that they were spirits of the dead.
People didn't believe that they were spirits dead, even though the angels came and talked to them about this. They still didn't believe that they were spirits of the dead. Verse 2. It's the same way. People, it's hard for people to believe these things, to fathom in their mind. That's why I say look into nature. If you see it in nature, it exists. Go ahead.
And in the lower heaven, they were the same, and they would not believe in a higher heaven.
Right? So people been taught one way all their life, all Jesus and the Christianity, and the lower heaven, they were the same. The lower heaven is what we're living in right now, right? This is the lower heaven. They were the same. He said they would not believe in a higher heaven. No, I'm sorry, lower heaven. That's the lowest of the heavens, right? Because we're on earth. That's the lowest of the heavens, the lowest of the heavens, the first heaven, right? Because we're talking about in verse 2, we're talking about actual spiritual beings, right? We talk verse 2, we're talking about actual spiritual beings. We're not talking about a physical man or woman. In verse 2, we're talking about actual. This is letting you know the progression. Look what we're going to read in verse 2. It says in the lower heavens. Are we in heaven right now?
No.
This is not heaven right now. So it's talking about a heaven that's a lower heaven. He said, in the lower heaven, they were the same. Meaning what they mean? They were the same. They doubted. They had unbelief. But you know why they had unbelief? Because those same people that's in the lower heaven are the same people that died and believe the same way that they believe. Y'all ain't hearing me today. Let me say it one more time for you. The people that's in this lower heaven are the same people that died in their physical body on this earth and became a spiritual being, and those same thoughts, those same ideals, those same people that you knew, the same belief system that they had. This is the reason why they couldn't believe, because they already was taught on earth. Now, this ain't to say that everybody goes to the lower heaven. This is where you at when you die. This is where you at when you die. When you die and you've been living a certain way on this life, there's a place for you. There's a grading system where you puts you where you're supposed to be. So when you die, you're supposed to be in the lower heaven. That's where you're gonna be. You're gonna be in the lower heaven. So you've been trained and thought this way all your life on this earth, that there's this place you're supposed to be, but you wind up not being there, and you're in this place, right? So it's hard for you to fathom that there's even a higher place, because you ain't been told of progression. You ain't been told of a higher heaven. So when you die, you think you at where you're supposed to be at. And in the lower heaven, they were the same. They would not believe in a what?
Higher heaven.
They would not believe in a higher heaven. You just can't fathom in your mind that there's even a higher heaven. Go ahead.
And though Ethereans came to them to prove them in their folly.
People came to them and proved them that, hey man, this is foolishness to think this way, that there's not a higher heaven. That there ain't progression that takes place in these heavens. Go ahead.
and talk with them face to
They
face.
even came down and talked to the spirit beings that was in this Lord heaven face to face. What happened?
Yet many would not believe.
They ain't gonna believe because they bow to what these pastors and preachers and their train of thought that they've been thinking. This is the unbelief of people being in their physical body. This is the unbelief of people being in their physical body. They have fashioned themselves in their belief to think that there is no life after death. And when they cross over, they realized they were still alive and they denied that they were in the spirit world. Let's go to another place. Book 20, Book of Friday Patty. You're touching on people that don't believe, that have unbelief or doubt about life after death. Book 20, the book name is Book of Friday Patty, Son of Jehovah. We're going to read chapter 2, and we're going to go scroll down verse 20. 2 and 20. Look at this now. Watch this. This is for people that don't believe in life after death. Go ahead. What does it say? Verse 20.
God said, "So the heaven of the earth has fallen to the earth, except the Ahians and the far off Ahuans,
Right.
whose spirit my lords gathered in and prepared for the coming resurrection."
Whose spirits my lords have gathered in and prepared for the coming resurrection. Go ahead.
But among the Pharisees, nation.
So this is but among the what? Pharisees nation. Go ahead.
None believed any more that the dead shall rise.
He said, in this nation, what's how you say that?
Parsi, maybe?
Parsi nation, none believe anymore that the dead shall rise. So in this nation, Persia, that's what it is. The Persian nation, right? None believe anymore that the dead shall rise. So in this Persian nation, people don't believe that the dead shall rise. Nor what?
Nor that spirits exist.
They don't believe that spirits exist. So you got these some nations that people don't believe that they don't believe that there's life after death. Go ahead.
But that with the mortal death there is the end.
So they say that when mortal men, women, boy, and girl die, that's the end of it. That's a wrap. Go ahead. Now check this out. Watch this.
To which the king has made a decree that man shall never again teach or preach of a heaven.
You see that? It says the king, that he has made it a law. Decree is nothing more than a law. The king of Persia has made it a law that a man who preaches should never preach heaven for the spirits of the dead. You can't preach heaven for the spirits of the dead because we don't believe that here. When people die, that's rock for them. They come back in no afterlife. Mm-hmm. This is law. If you preach this stuff about them afterlife, because we're gonna do something to y'all. Go ahead.
Nor proclaim a great spirit.
So you can't even proclaim a great spirit. So you can't even proclaim You can't even proclaim the Creator, Jehovah. You can't even proclaim him. Go ahead.
A creator.
The great spirit is the creator. You can't even proclaim him. And this just go to show you this is how the laws or decrees can be set through kings or people of authority. The United States can say right now, and Persia get up there right now and say, man, hey, look here, we don't want none of y'all pastors and preachers. We want y'all, matter of fact, y'all pastors and preachers, we want y'all to summon all the lessons that you've been preaching. Down through the years, for 2 or 3 years, we want you to summon them and give it to us. And after this day right here, if you be caught preaching anything else but this, we're gonna lock you up.
They doing it.
We're gonna lock you up. And your preaching is done, it's over with. Just like they just did in Persia, what we just read in Persia, huh?
I said they did that on God's Not Dead.
Yeah.
Where they summoned all the lessons.
Yeah. So they can do that right now and say, look at that, all y'all pastors preaching that's over this world, we got records of who preaching and pastoring. For 3 years, you gotta summon you gotta give them all those lessons that you've been preaching. And after the day, if you be caught preaching anything else but this, you're going to jail. Your preaching career is over with. Mm-hmm. This is how decrees and laws can be set through kings or people of authority on denying the life of the spirit. And this will get in people's mind not to even think about it. They done made a whole law to deny the life of the spirit. So that's why in the ancient world, especially in the East, right, you have had the belief of concrete thinking, right? You had the belief in the East, in the ancient Eastern world, the belief of concrete thinking. You had to physically demonstrate what you were saying. They wanted you to actually prove what you were saying, to demonstrate what you were saying. They didn't believe in the abstract thinking, meaning the intellectual thinking, the mental thinking, right? They didn't believe in that. They believed in the real, actual, physical, hardcore evidence right in front of me type of thinking. That's the Eastern thought. I need you to show it to me. I need to actually physically see it. Not the abstract thing and the intellectual, right? The mental, right? The not seeing it. I need to see it. That's what was going on in the ancient Eastern world. The people had to actually see it in order to believe it. Go ahead.
So would you say that's the Eastern thing or Eastern world? You know how I say when people speak in tongues, you can't speak in tongues unless you have an interpretation or something that you have to like interpretate what you're saying. So is that an Eastern thought or is that something that's actually true? You have to, if you speak in tongues, you have to actually interpret what you're saying.
They gotta understand what you're saying, right? Physically, like what I just said, they got to understand what you said. They can't be having all these people just talking. Hey, nobody don't know what nobody's saying. We got to physically understand and demonstrate what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? But over here, you ain't got to do that. Everybody just speaking in tongues. The church just lit up. Nobody don't know what she's saying or nothing. They don't care. Nobody don't ask no questions. Don't say nothing. Oh, she in the spirit. She filled with the spirit. But in the Eastern world now, what you saying? I need you to demonstrate what you're saying. But over here, no, it ain't like that. You don't need to demonstrate on taking her to her. She full of the spirit. The God is anointed. The God is all over her. And the people hoping to holler, yes. Preach, sister. Preach, brother. Nobody ain't saying nothing. No knows that she in there casting spells on these people or nothing. In the name of whoever God she serves. All right, let's go to the next place. So we deal with unbelief and the doubt of life after death. Now let's go and look at a couple of scriptures that's proven life after death. And we're going to get up out of here. Proven life after death. Here are some verses to show this is a natural order. Just like the natural order for a caterpillar, Junior, how he goes through these phases, or a frog, right? This is a natural order. This is nature demonstrating that there is life after death. So let's go read it. Book 5. Let's go read book 5 to prove this. Some of these disbeliefs. Book 5, book of Syntheses, son of Jehovah, chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 6. Proven life after death. Because everyone is going to live after death. It's just a matter of fact of where you're going to be at after you die. See, all of us are family on this earth. You know, we love our loved ones. But every family member is not going to be in the same place as a loved ones is, because you got a different mentality or mindset or different characteristics about yourself that might put you in a different level, right? You know how some of your family hard headed. You know your loved ones, right? So you might not be in the same place or the same heaven that they are in. You might be in a different heaven. You might be in a higher heaven, or they could be in a higher heaven. You be in a lower heaven, just depending on how you living on this world. Could you possibly be there? Yeah, if y'all on the same, you and your family member on the same level. Yeah, you can be right there exactly where they at. But you can also be on a higher level, or you can be even on a lower level as your family member. But your family member gonna know you. Go ahead.
God said,
Go ahead.
when a corporate comes forth out of his corporeal body.
So you are the corporate. Each and every one of us are the corporate, meaning physical. We are physical man, woman, boy, girl. God said when a physical man, woman, boy, girl comes forth out of his what?
Corporeal body.
So this body that we live in is a corporeal body or physical body. So when we come out of this physical body, what happens?
This shall be called death.
So what is that called when you come out of your physical body?
Death.
Death. That means you death. You die. That's that statement right there to the T. So when you die and your spiritual being come out of your body, that is called death. Because a question was asked, if you go to verse 5, a question was asked. And the God answered the question. Go to that question up there in verse 5, right above it.
God said, the spirits of the dead. The Asphas said, the spirits of the dead. Who are they?
So that was the question. The Asaph wanted to know, who are the spirit of the dead and who are they? The spirit of the dead, who are they? And God said, a corporeal man, woman, boy, or girl who comes out of his corporeal body, that shall be called death. That is the spirit of the dead. But there's an afterlife for the spirit. Now, so we got that. What is death? We understand what death is. Everybody understand what death is, right? Everybody understand. Matt, you understand what death is? What happens at death? The corporeal body comes forth out of the corporeal comes forth out of the corporeal body, meaning your spiritual body comes out of your physical body. And this is called death. Everybody got it? All right, let's go to the next place. Book 4. Book 4. Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2. Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2. We got one more place, and then let's see. So we got chapter 4, Book of Jehovah. Book 4, Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2. Go ahead.
Jehovah said, I created the earth and fashioned it.
Who created the earth and fashioned it?
Jehovah.
No, Jesus created it.
Jehovah.
No, Buddha created it.
Jehovah.
Okay, then go ahead.
And placed it in the firmament, and by my presence brought man forth a living being.
Who brought man forth as a living being?
Jehovah.
Jehovah brought man forth as a living being, the creator. Go ahead.
I gave him a corporeal body.
Who gave him a corporate body?
Jehovah.
Jehovah gave. I just want to make sure we all on the same page. I gave him a corporeal body. We still talking about Jehovah. Go ahead.
So that he could learn.
It's important. Why did Jehovah give you a physical body? This is important. Write it down. Why did Jehovah give you a physical body? Go ahead. Why did he say he gave you a physical body?
So that he could learn corporeal things.
So that you can learn physical things. So that you can learn physical things. So that you can experience physical things. He said, I gave him a corporeal body so that he could learn corporeal things. That's important. Now look at this next part going to be important. So you know why the Creator gave you a physical body. He gave you a physical body so that you can learn this physical things. You can learn this physical world. So this is an experience for us. Us living in this physical body, in this physical world, we are going through an experience in this world. This is an experience. This is what do you call it? We're going through an experience. Experimental, right? Right? So how are you reacting? How are you doing in this experience? Are you doing it for the better? Are you being good in this experience? Are you better in this experience? We are just passing through this physical world. But we have an end. We have an end to this physical world. We got to go to this physical world. We're going to read it. So y'all wrote that down. That's important. So we understand why the Creator gave us a physical body. Now this next part, you're going to write that down as well. Go ahead. What did it say?
And I made death.
So this is the reason why so you might have a question. Somebody might have a question. Why we got to die? So he's going to answer your question. So his Creator says, Jehovah says, so I made death. Why?
So that he could rise in the firmament.
So that you can rise in the firmament. The first heaven, the second heaven, and so forth on. So you can rise in these heavens. You can progress in these heavens. This is an experience. It's all based off of you. And we're going to read that in another verse. That everything that you do is based off of you. The only one can save you is yourself. I want to put that deep in your mind. Go ahead.
And inherit my ethereal world.
He said he wants you to inherit, to live in this ethereal world. That's the heaven above heavens. But in order for you to get to the heavens of heavens, you got to rise, you got to progress and go through the changes of these firmament of heavens. This is the reason why he made death. He don't want you to stay a physical body, a physical person, but he wants you to undergo the spiritual substance so that way you can rise in these firmaments of heaven and inherit the heavens of heavens. So we see right here, death, somebody say death.
Death
is a spiritual birth.
Is a spiritual birth.
Everybody cries when people die. Do you see people crying when they birth? When people being born, everybody's so happy. I ain't never seen nobody cry after the baby comes. The mama cry because she in pain, right? She don't undergo a drastic change in her body, right? Undergo all the pain and all of these emotions that she have at this moment. So she's the only one crying, but everybody else ain't crying. Everybody happy. Oh, the baby girl is so beautiful. Ain't nobody crying. Everybody happy. Everybody glorious. Everybody letting the blooms up. So forth. But when people die, they cry. And somebody always told me that if we got it backwards, that we should be crying when the people are born and rejoicing when they die. Because when they die, they just go on into the afterlife. But to be born into this natural, sinful world and the things that they're going to have to undergo in this world. You know, you've been here however long you've been here. The baby got to go through all these things. So whether it's just imagine that they ain't got a good life, they ain't got a good mom or a good daddy. Imagine how their life going to be. And life in itself already hard on this world. But that even makes it even worse. But we are all rejoicing when the baby comes. When people die, we want to jump in the casket with them. Instead of just knowing that they, in the afterlife, that they living on. That they living on. Just like the caterpillar. They living on. They going to the next stage, the next level. And hopefully the level that they going to is a level where they can continue to progress and they can get to that higher heaven. All right. Where we at? Let's go to book 23. It's the last scripture, I believe. Book 23. That's the book of Serpenta al-Samij. Book of Serpenta al-Samij. The goddess sister. That's our big sister in the spiritual world. Book of Serpenta al-Samij. Daughter of Jehovah. And we're going to read chapter 1. We're going to read verse 20 and 21. Let's see what our big sister has to say about this. So Serpenta al-Samij is a she's a goddess over her own, over a planet. But at this time she was, so it just depends on if that she's still or she's on to bigger and better things. But in the scripture or in the book right now, she's a goddess over her own planet to planet. To create her place over. So that's what you gotta understand. If you go back and look at some of my lessons, that you're gonna undergo some of these things. When in the Bible, in the KJV Bible, it talks about ain't there he says, ain't they all gods? Right? He says that we are gods, soon to be gods, inherit the godship. And he says, since I said, can my word be broken? Right? He said, I called them gods from the beginning. So we all have a chance in order to be a god or Lord, to rule over. Like, so that's what I'm saying. This progression is a real progression. When you die in the spiritual world and you working on getting yourself together, which we should be working on getting ourselves together, but once you go through these stages in the spiritual world, you have a chance to either be a God, or Lord God, somebody guardian's angel, right? There's jobs for you to do. Go ahead, verse 20 and 21. Go ahead, verse 20. What say?
Serpenta al-Samij spoke from Jehovah's throne, saying.
So we got Serpenta al-Samij, our big sister. She's speaking from Jehovah's throne. So this Jehovah's throne is not saying that Jehovah, excuse me, put the mic up to him. When you see this throne, I want you to put in your mind and understand that this is not the creator sitting on the throne. Right? The throne belongs to Jehovah, but Jehovah is not sitting on the throne. Jehovah has his goddess, Serpenta al-Samij, sitting on the throne. But Jehovah is to and fro, looking around in this world, traveling around this world. He says he's everywhere. He's omnipresent. So how can he be omnipresent if he's just sitting on the throne? I want you to think about that. How can he be everywhere if he's just sitting on the throne? But do you know who can sit on the throne? His sons and daughters. Like Serpenta al-Samij, his goddess. She can sit on the throne because she's ruling from the throne. She's not going to leave from the throne unless she has to. But Sapita sits on the throne and can give commands from the throne. But Jehovah, he says he's everywhere. He's omnipresent. Our president is omnipresent to be everywhere. That means they can't be sitting on the throne. That's impossible. How can you be everywhere and you sitting up there on the throne? No, but his goddess and his gods can be sitting on the throne. But the throne is, they understand the throne is not my throne. The throne is the creator throne, but I'm sitting on his throne. Go ahead. If that makes sense, hope that makes sense to you. Go ahead.
What is the deliverance of man?
She is asking Jehovah, what is the deliverance of man? Who want to be delivered? I know somebody want to be delivered because they go to church and they ask to tell the pastor, hey, pastor, I want to be delivered from this, from that. So Sapita means asking a question to Jehovah and says, what is the deliverance of man? Go ahead. What do he say?
Is it from his mother's womb?
Is he going to be delivered from his mother's womb? Go ahead.
Is it from his corporeal body?
Is mankind going to be delivered from their physical body? Go ahead.
Is it from the corporeal world or her atmosphere?
Is it from the corporeal world or her atmosphere after death? Is they going to be delivered from that? Go ahead. What the Father say?
The Father has given 3 births to all men.
Listen to this. You might want to write it down. The Father has given 3 births to all men. Who's the Father we talking about? Jehovah has given 3 births to all men. What does he say?
And the first.
So this is the first birth of man. What is it?
Man has nothing to do with his shaping or time in his mother's womb.
That's the first birth of man. And that is, man has nothing to do with his shaping. What does it mean by shaping? How tall, how short, how wide, how slender, right? Whether he's going to be buff, whether he's going to be a little thicker, right? All these things, man, what he says, man has nothing to do with this shaping. Or the time in his mother's womb. You don't even have the time. The time in your mother's womb ain't even on you. Because there's mothers having children way before 9 months. After 9 months. Go ahead.
In the second.
So this is the second one. Go ahead.
He has a little more to do in directing his course during his mortal life.
Who has? No. Who has?
The baby.
The
man, the baby, right?
Yeah.
So what is it saying? Let's explain what this is saying. In the second of the birth of mankind, in the second stage of mankind, he's been born. The Creator said he don't have nothing to do with his birth and how he's shaped, how he's formed when he come out of the womb, right? That's what he said. Now on the second phase of his life, mankind, man, boy, woman, and girl, he says that you have a little more to do in directing the course or the path that you take in this mortal life. The path and the course that you take in this mortal life, on this planet, on this world, is up to you. Whether you choose to be good, whether you choose to be bad, that course is up to you. That has something to do with you. That has a little bit more to do with you. You understand that? You don't have nothing to do with your birth. But as you living, the course and the path that you take has everything to do with what you do. Go ahead.
But for the third, for the higher heavens, he must work for his own deliverance.
It says he must what?
Work for his own deliverance.
He must what?
Work for his own deliverance.
Ain't nobody coming to save you in spite of yourself. If you thinking that you fooling yourself. It says You must work for the deliverance, for your own deliverance to make it into these higher heavens. The work must be done right now. Your work that you do right now places you in the place where whatever place that you're trying to be, whatever work you do right now, is going to place you into whatever heaven that you're going to go into. Whatever work you're doing, whatever you're doing right now is going to place you into whatever heaven that you're going to be in. It says he must work for his own deliverance. The Bible tells you work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I said that again. Ain't nobody coming to save you in spite of yourself. Everybody looking for Jesus to be changed and caught up in a moment of an eye and be this new person in spite of yourself. You just want somebody to come down here and just change you automatically. Make me this person and make me that person. Get rid of all the sinful natures I got in me, but you ain't doing nothing to get rid of all the sinful natures. You tell the creator to help you with lying, but yet you lied every day. So you want him to come down here and just stop your tongue from just lying. You calling for the creator to help me to get out these drugs, but you around drug dealers. You ain't helping yourself. This making sense to somebody?
Yes, sir.
You ask for this help, but you ain't putting yourself in a position. You asking for to talk to somebody. You asking for to increase my finances, but you ain't doing nothing to increase your finances. You praying for the creator to help you get out of this situation, these hardship situations, but you keep putting yourself in these situations. But you just think you want the creator to come down here and just fashion and just change everything, and you ain't doing nothing in spite of yourself. You ain't making no changes. $21. Go ahead.
Sapenta Amit said,
He said what?
the Creator created three kinds of earth deliverance for men.
We're talking about earth deliverance. The creator created this deliverance for earth. Man. What kind of three kinds of deliverance for earth man is this? Go ahead. What is the first one? What?
First, from his mother's womb, coming crying, blank and helpless.
Blank and helpless. So the creator created three kinds of earth deliverance for man. And that first deliverance is from the mother's womb. He come crying, blank, and he come helpless. But the creator delivers him from this birth. Second,
From the T-tracks. Second, from the T-tracks. Earthly passions and desires.
When he says T-tracks, he's not going to see the parentheses. So he's telling you what T-tracks is. T-tracks are earthly passions and what?
Desires.
So T-tracks are earthly passion desires.
Seriously.
So when we're talking about who delivered them, who got to be delivered from this? Is the creator delivering them from these earthly passion and desires?
No.
Who got to deliver you from these earthly passion and desires?
Yourself.
It didn't say that the creator was helping you with the deliverance of these. Did it say the creator helping you deliverance from these things?
No.
It didn't say that the creator was helping you with the deliverance of these things. The creator ain't helping you to not want earthly passion and desires. Oh, girl, you know I got needs, man. You know I got needs. Huh? Your needs gonna get you in trouble. That ain't what I want to say, but your needs gonna get you in trouble. All these needs, everybody got needs and desires and wants. And that's why I just told you, when you look across the world in all these churches, pastors, preachers, well, whoever, people ain't really about that. People ain't really give up their money, cars, clothes. They hardly want to help the homeless. They hardly want to help people. They hardly want to help their family and loved ones. And they got the money to do it. And you think you finna sit here and tell me these people is really about that, about the Creator? It says what? He says the Creator created 3 kinds of earth deliverance for man. He created these earth deliverance for man so that you can have an opportunity to be delivered from, but you got to work to be delivered from these things. By nature, the human race, the human beings are attached to this earthly world. They're attached to these earthly passions. They're attached to these earthly desires. Everyone. You got to break the cycle from it. But everybody wants the biggest house, the biggest car, the finer clothes. They want the finer things in life. They want the baddest woman. And some of them want more than one woman, one wife. Some of them want more than one husband. He said the first, you can be delivered from your mother's womb, and you come to crying, blank, and helpless. But you can be delivered from it. And in time, a baby's gonna be delivered from this. In time, a baby gonna stop crying. In time, a baby gonna stop being helpless, right? And he's gonna start helping himself. In time, you can drop all these earthly passions and desires. But the only way you're gonna do that is by working on yourself. How does a baby start to walk? The baby gotta get up and do something, don't he? The baby gotta get up and take the effort to do something. If the baby don't never get up to do something, the baby ain't never gonna learn to walk. If the baby don't get up and do something and try to make the effort to use the bathroom, the baby gonna still be in diapers. This making sense? So in order for you to stop these earthly passions and desires, and these things that you want instead of the things that you need to be doing for the Creator, for yourself, in order to meet this this resurrection, this life after death, that which really matters, because that's eternal. That's what we need to be working on. What did they say after that? I'm sorry for not letting you read the rest of it, but what did they say after this second from teacher acts, earthly passion, desires? Then what did they say?
Serious and full of fear.
He said, this is serious and full of fear. Saying again. He said this is very serious and full of fear because people are attached to it. People are so much attached to it is that when they die, and I told you they die, how you are right now, that's how you is when you die and you cross over to the afterlife. That people are so attached right now, so when they die, they still attached to this world, and what do you think they cling to in heaven? In the first heaven, what do you think they cling to? That means they don't never leave this earth. Heaven for them is right here on earth. They're just a spiritual being on this earth, in the first heaven. Because why? They're attached to this earth. So why you being attacked? That's why he said this is serious and full of fear. Because you are attached to this earth. That's what one of the things you must be working on, is being free from the passions and desires of this earth. But we don't be free from it. We continue to love the things of this earth, and then when we die, we remain attached to this earth. And this is the first heaven form. This is the first heaven form. You see people dying with their cars, with money, with jewelry. They dying with all these sentimental things. They attached to it. They're attached to their loved ones, all this stuff. And so we think their heaven is at. The heaven is on earth. with the stuff that they like and what they want. He said this is very serious and this is and full of fear. Go ahead, what's the third one?
Third, from the enemies of the Great Spirit.
You can be delivered from the enemies of the Great Spirit, but who got to do this?
You.
You got to do the work of this. Who's the Great Spirit? Jehovah, right? Do Jehovah got enemies? Yes, he got enemies. You can be delivered from the enemies of the Great Spirit. What does it say?
This last is the feast of Sepenta.
Right.
Huh?
You can be delivered from the enemies of the Great Spirit. But you got to do the work. These evil spirits, will you cross over? These evil spirits, evil angels, the false gods, right? These are all enemies of the Creator. And when you cross over, you're going to see all of this. But if you ain't wise to know, and discernment is not with you, you're not going to know that you're being duped and lied to. And you could be called, and you could be a servant of a false god. The Creator created 3 kinds of earth deliverance for man. But it takes you to doing the work. With these couple of verses, Owaski is proving life after death. You at this point should be able to see that there is life after death. It's no doubt about it. We should have the understanding that when we cross over, there is a progression and it continues on. This progression continues on. You remember we read the scripture say on and upward? This is what we should be reaching for. On and upward. From here on upward. Until we reach the third, or until we reach the highest heaven. And I want you to remember this. As above, so below. Or so below, as above. Right? You pray for, what it say? Our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth, as it is in what?
Heaven.
As it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven. So whatever you see on earth is what you see in heaven. This was the Lord's prayer, right? On earth as it is in heaven. As below, so above. You got learning going on right here. You got school going on here. You got school going on in the spiritual world. You got hospitals and things like that here. You got hospitals and stuff like that in the spiritual world. But that's just more advanced. So, thank you for joining in with us on today. This was Life After Death, this Faithist Lesson, right? Hopefully you've got something out of this lesson, open your hearts, open your minds, open your eyes to see what's really what it is. Everyone is going to live after death. Where you are placed at when you die, that choice is up to you. Nobody can do that for you. That's a choice that you got to make yourself to choose to be what the Creator designed for us to be. Now, I read you this morning the book of Wars Against Jehovah, that chapter 53 and verse 10, right? Where it says, Jehovah says, my kingdom are not by violence or by war. So what they got going over there in the Middle East right now with this war, with these different people? That ain't of the Creator. He says, but my kingdom is about liberty to every soul. I want to free every soul. Free every soul, meaning freedom of their mind, their body, their spirit, right? I want to free every soul. And whoso practices peace, if you practice peace, if you practice love, and if you practice liberty, the freedom of other brothers and sisters, he says, you are my chosen. You are considered the faithist. And then he said, if you do this, you are on your way to what? Everlasting resurrection. So this was life after death. Thank you for joining in with us on today. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns before we get up out of here? We touched up on little things that on the way to learning things. Got a little off the topic, but hopefully they didn't discourage anybody by getting off topic. But some things you got to learn on the way of learning. So with that, we're gonna get ready to close on out. Have the ending scripture. How we should pray. We'll see you next week for the next lesson.
And when thou prayest, let it be after this manner.
Let it be after this manner.
Jehovah, who rules in heaven and earth, hallowed be thy name, and reign among men. Sufficient unto me is my bread. And as much as I forgive those that trespass against me, so make thou me steadfast. To shun temptation. For all honor. And glory. All thine. Worlds without end. Praise the Creator. Praise the Great Spirit.
All praises.
All praises.